to this week's current affairs program on Constituency Talk. Today we have Settlement Chikwinya, who is the Member of Parliament for Mbizo constituency. To begin with, let's hear what MP Chikwinya has to say about the issue of machete gangs in Mbizo, where cases of murder are constantly being reported.
Thank you. I think nyaya yemhirizhonga nedambudziko remakorokoza takanoibata panzvimbo mbiri. Chokutanga, ini zvakare ndakabvunza Minister of Home Affairs specific question yepaMbizo 4 and pakaita reaction yakaitwa neMbizo police station. Yakazobatsirwa zvayo kunyanya nepakazoitwa operation yekuremova mamachetes. Ndofunga makona zvakaita sokuti nani kubva patakabva pama-elections 2018 zvanga zvanyanya taigona kutaura mazita evanhu mapambanyo nemagang aitozikamwa kuti kune gang running vairova vanhu paMbizo 4 vanhu vaimuka vakafa. Takatombosvika nguva tanga tine 8 vanhu vakafa within a space of 5 months paMbizo 4 chete. So I think that question is very pertinent to MP Makaite. We engaged Mbizo police station na dispo kuti paMbizo pave more surveillance. But mu parliament ndakabvunza Minister of Home Affairs specific question yekuti kubva 2018 kusvika pandakazobvunza muna July of 2020 vanhu vangani vanga varohwa kukuvara nokufa muMbizo constituency and Kwekwe in general. And takaona kuti pambaita 147 deaths in Kwekwe district, that is Mbizo, Kwekwe, Slovela, Redcliffe, Jombe. 147 vanhu vakafa nenyaya yemamachetes. Vanhu vakasvika about 306 vanga vakuwara and only 9 had been arrested. So those statistics are very worrying. But ndotenda kuti at least pane zvino zvinenge zvatidzikire tomboona kuti panozopera COVID hazvizosumiki zvakare because ma-COVID regulations akaita kuti masoja mapurisa anga achipatrola ma-streets. Saka vanhu vamamachetes vanga vachishaya mukana wokuti vanga vachitawo mhirizhonga dzavajaira uyezve mabhawa anga akavharwa. But on a sad note, we lost 2 people pa 4 ipapo manje mwakabewa nebanga section 4 neumwe akawanikwa akafa futi zvakare. I think ndoku section 18 aida kumbota councillor pabhawa even during those lockdown regulations. I think we need more patrols dzemapurisa and we have been highlighting, and we want to thank the ZRP for also their support and continued response in as far as could try to suppress mhirizhonga in our constituency.
Chikwinya also talked on his prominent role of Parliament as he discussed the Freedom of Information Act while linking it to mining and Kwekwe.
The Freedom of Information Bill is a very fundamental, in fact, Freedom of Information Act, yakaripila IPA, is a very, very key instrument in upholding my rights emadzimai. In that, mubvunzo ndapedzera kupindura wekuti tiri kunyimwa mari yekuita mining for example. It's because tanga tisina mutemo wekuti unogona kunonyora tsamba kuna PMD uchiti tiudzewo kuti kune mari inokwanisa kusapota madzimai. So in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act, pane form raunondofila in any government department where you want information, any information. So madzimai vari in mining, let me just zero in on that. You can actually write to the PMD of any province and say, ndiudze kune mablock ari free. Ibasa ra PMD, harisi basa rapega kuti unotsvaga pega unotsvagire kuti kune mablock ari free ndekupi. The blocks belong to the ministry. So PMD anofana kuziva kuti ndeapi ari free, ndeapi ari occupied, ndeapi ari under dispute. So the Freedom of Information Act provides for the government and any state enterprise to provide for information as it relates to any rights of a citizen, women included. So that, and they said, was moved by yours truly, myself. Number 2, every Wednesday, and you would know, every Wednesday, tomorrow included, we ask questions largely to do with how do we perpetuate the support of women in our constituencies, because they have been left out for so long. And while this, we don't only zero in on women, but we would find that the underlying tone of our questions is that, and my questions in particular, is that we need to be able to support our women. And don't believe in supporting women through my projects. Yes, that can happen. That can happen. But we must be able to have a society that fundamentally supports a woman to grow and realize their full potential without being subjected to some control and dependence from a particular politician. Because the MP ndo anondipa mari yekuti ndino igadzira sipo saka MP ndofana kuvoterera izvozvo. No, our taxes must be able to support any small scale business that can be sustained by any woman coming out of any school or even as not chikoro. Number two, our industry must be able to open up to an extent that it must be able to absorb any women and a capacity to shine in that industry. So let's think wider than to say go to MP project. I think we are reducing ourselves to this mentality of dependence. And my questions are directed to the ministries, the not support Madzimai and even men. We don't want to leave anyone behind. What are we doing as a society to open up the business environment so that anyone who has the capacity to work is able to work? Anyone who has the capacity to do business is then able to do business. So that's my second point with regards to oversight. My third point with regards to representation, I think it's a weakness, but it's a weakness which you can't immediately take away from society, where members of the community expect you to come with small projects and you give them and that we are doing in a structured manner in Mbizo, save for the fact that we had been affected by COVID and we could not assemble. But here and there, where women are organized, we are being able to find them partners, and then they coordinate themselves. Wait at my projects. I am one proponent and single believe people should be organized in that manner. But I'm living in a society that was jaira. But we must come out of that mentality. I don't believe in that. But I am not a proponent of that. I am a proponent of bigger ideas. A disciple of an independent economy where each one must be able to survive on their own and be able to do business in accordance with their capacity. Those are my three roles.
In conjunction with the upcoming young women construction company founded in Mbizo, Chikwinya said the project is being handled by the city council. He also explained how the most vulnerable members in the community can be helped.
So, as I said, that some meaningful disbursement, CDF, has been allocated for this year's budget, and it's, I think, $25,000. So, where we need to build the ablution block, where we will need to build a project every 3 years, we must be able to consider people like you. So, what we do is that my plans actually, my drawings actually, a toilet actually, my drawings actually, Msika actually, Mbizo 3, the sheds, Arago City Council. We discuss separately. I refer you, kuna engineer Mike, monopo my drawings actually, moisa my quotation in you, and you compete fairly like any other person. I'm not trying to say that women will get the project ahead of men or men will get the project ahead of women, but you compete fairly to show now the impact. Sakana makawanda murushanda muri 40 tiona kuti zinobatsira vanhu vakati one day tinogona kuconsider ahead of vanhu vanoshanda vari 2 because the cake is being shared ahead of between wider people than vanhu vanenge vashanda vari 2. I think but this project which we have started, Faith, is exactly the type of thinking that we encourage people to do in the constituents. Arrange yourselves, come up with a viable project like what you are doing. You begin to seek tenders and compete with everyone else in the communities. I think let's engage, and I think you have got my support on this one. Group Rema vulnerable members, what we have done is we plan international. We try to depoliticize this process because the plan ngaino tonyora yega because sangaona kuti pakanyogwa na kansela we pakanyorwa nakansela wezano panonyorwa nevanhu vezano, pakanyorwa nakansela weMDC panonyorwa vanhu veMDC. So we tried as much as we could. We tried as much as we could to depoliticize the process, but however, we could not purely stop the process from being political. But there's a second phase which is coming, and I'm engaging Vakumana plan. Again, we need to increase more people, especially truly vulnerable people. Nerera, Honorara Mane Urema Sekutara Kwamaita, and these people are supposed to be assisted in the program plan. Yabatra Wakawanda, but Wamachu Wakabazu Kwamatsot, was Wanga Singapore Wakabazu Kwanamarizoji. So Pamnozi Panenge by Nema cases are specific. Please, number Zangan Dizozi, can you advise me to Panbakat, Panara Mane Urema, Monogondisla inbox, and then we compile a true database in Obazira and Vajokwadi.
This episode was brought to you by the Community Voices Zimbabwe. I'm Perseverance Javangwe. Remember to mask up, keep social distance, and always wash your hands.